Nepal's path to progress: ideology versus pragmatism, a comparative exploration. Definition. Ideology refers to a set of ideas or values to which a person or group adheres and influences how they act and perceive the world around them. These beliefs can relate to politics or religion. They function as a foundation for understanding circumstances and forming ethical assessments. Common ideologies include socialism and capitalism in context. Pragmatism is about focusing on what works in real-life situations and giving more importance to getting results and being efficient rather than sticking to a particular set of beliefs or theories. It's a mindset that appreciates taking action and being adaptable in solving problems. It prioritizes flexible and practical approaches over strict principles to achieve better outcomes. Approach to addressing problems. Ideology. When it comes to ideology-driven people or organizations, they usually tackle problems based on a set of core beliefs or solutions that match their ideologies. For example, a socialist might propose government involvement in the economy as the solution to economic challenges, regardless of the situation or possible outcomes. Pragmatism. Practicality is about taking a hands-on approach to solving problems by assessing the situation and choosing solutions based on how effective they are, rather than sticking to a particular belief system or ideology. Flexibility is key. Ideologies rooted in beliefs that are typically non-negotiable can sometimes be quite inflexible. This inflexibility can result in a reluctance to adapt to changes when circumstances indicate that alternative methods could be more efficient. Pragmatism is naturally adaptable because it permits adjustments in tactics and methods in response to data or unforeseen obstacles in real-world scenarios. Decision-making. Being under the influence of an ideology usually entails referring to the fundamental beliefs of that ideology to guide actions effectively. This can promote decision consistency but may also steer focus towards upholding principles rather than maximizing desired results. On the other hand, the pursuit of outcomes, rather than adherence to conventional wisdom or norms, often guides practical decision-making. This may necessitate compromise and innovation. Real-world examples. In Nepal's scenario of ideology-based initiatives, there is a notable case where the authorities transitioned from a centralized setup to establishing state-level governing bodies. This was driven by motives to disperse authority and endorse regional independence aspirations. Nevertheless, the execution has proven to be expensive. Considerable resources are now allocated towards sustaining the workforce and organizational frameworks of these state administrations, with a portion of this budget sourced from escalating national debts. This has led to insufficient funds for tangible progress endeavors within the regions. The escalating debt has reached a point where it threatens national security and significantly jeopardizes the country's stability. Despite these concerning outcomes, the government persists in promoting decentralization as a core principle for ensuring political representation, even as the nation teeters on the brink of collapse. In this scenario, being practical would entail re-evaluating how the growing debt could be repurposed for other purposes. Rather than continually funding the administrative expenses of state governments, Nepal could focus on investing in areas that actively promote economic development and employment opportunities. For example, annually, prioritize the creation of businesses or infrastructure initiatives in areas where they are most needed. This strategy would assist in reducing joblessness, boost economies, and slowly diminish the nation's reliance on foreign debt. By embracing this strategy, Nepal could strive to enhance its self-reliance and economic resilience while steering clear of the risks associated with failure as a state on the brink of collapse. This approach prioritizes tangible results such as sustainable growth and safeguarding national security instead of doggedly sticking to the doctrine of decentralization. Strengths and weaknesses. Prospects of ideology include establishing a structure for interpreting the world and motivating individuals through collective principles and cherished ideals. However, weaknesses may include a lack of adaptability and resistance to change, as well as occasionally being out of touch with real-world applications. On the flip side, pragmatism's strengths include being extremely versatile and goal-driven, with the ability to effectively pivot in response to shifting situations. Yet, weaknesses may arise when there is a shortfall in ethical principles. This could result in decisions that are efficient but morally questionable or lack long-term vision. Finding a balance between these two aspects is crucial. In scenarios, a blend of ideology and practicality can prove advantageous. Ideology offers a guiding light and a sense of purpose. However, pragmatism ensures that decisions made are efficient and attuned to real-world needs. Consider a political figure who, while motivated by their beliefs, is willing to modify policies to address pressing issues, thereby achieving both long-term goals and immediate victories. Countries that prioritized practicality over ideology. Pragmatism is not typically the official ideology of any country, but many nations incorporate practical approaches in their governance and economic policies. These countries may not strictly adhere to a single ideology but instead use policies that are effective and responsive to their specific circumstances. Here are a few examples of countries where pragmatism is notably applied. Singapore. Singapore is another example of a country that applies pragmatism effectively. Under the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore adopted policies that were not ideologically driven, but were instead focused on achieving rapid economic development and social stability. This included attracting foreign investment, implementing strict law and order policies, and investing heavily in education and public infrastructure. Singapore's pragmatic approach has transformed it from a small, resource-poor island into a global financial hub with a high standard of living. United Arab Emirates. In a region known for its reliance on oil-based economies, Dubai's pragmatic approach exemplifies the UAE's focus on diversification. The country has made investments in areas such as tourism and technology to shift to a more diversified economy and establish itself as a prominent global business center. The leadership in the UAE has demonstrated a readiness to implement policies to stimulate economic growth by drawing inspiration from successful strategies worldwide. The UAE's way of governing is known for its top-down style, which prioritizes rapid progress and sometimes skips the usual bureaucratic steps to get things done efficiently. China. China is often cited as a prime example of pragmatism in action. While the country officially follows a communist ideology, it has adopted significant market-driven reforms since the late 20th century under the concept of socialism with Chinese characteristics. This blend of state control and capitalism has allowed China to become one of the world's largest economies. China's approach is pragmatic, focusing on economic growth and stability, even if it means incorporating elements of capitalism that are traditionally opposed to communist ideology. The Chinese government is highly adaptive, often adjusting policies to maintain social stability and economic development. This includes shifting focus between centralized control and decentralization as needed. In Nepal, the situation is at a crucial point where the balance between sticking to beliefs and finding practical answers will decide its path ahead. The shift from a centralized setup to state administrations, driven by reasons, has brought about major hurdles, such as growing debt and insufficient progress. Despite the intended goal of strengthening areas and ensuring fair distribution, the actual implementation of decentralization has put the country's capabilities under strain, potentially jeopardizing its economic well-being and security. To prevent Nepal from descending into chaos and instability as a nation in crisis and disarray, it is crucial for the country to rethink its methods and strategies. The country should implement a strategy that redirects resources to productive projects. Supporting businesses and constructing crucial infrastructure can enhance employment prospects and propel economic advancement. Nepal can achieve long-term growth in a sustainable manner. Maintaining an equilibrium between principles and practicality is vital for Nepal's advancement, safeguarding against situations where political aspirations jeopardize financial stability and national safety. To sum up, the situation in Nepal entails assessing its existing policies and being willing to make necessary adjustments for advancement. Embracing solutions that cater to the genuine needs of its citizens can pave the way for a more stable and prosperous future for Nepal. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave a comment below with your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. And to make sure you never miss an update, be sure to turn on notifications. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video for more insights and future content.